Stan Hywet Hall and Gardens and the Stan Hywet Historic Players present Dressed to Kill.
Beauty takes flight. This evening we have many illustrious guests in the house. Unfortunately, our host for the evening, Mr. and Mrs. Cyberlane, will not be in attendance due to a delay in travel. Stuck on the road outside Minerva, last I heard. Minerva, on the Lincoln Highway. But we soldier on with the well-known faces that we have with us. I will be your host for the evening, Hugo Hollywood, but I'm sure I need no introduction.
Woody!
Yes, my...
Woody!
Woody, your Uncle Holly, to those who know me well, yes. My good friend, Dr. Ben Drenkin. Yes. Dr. Drenkin, what can I do for you?
They told me this was a fundraiser for the hospital. That's why I'm here. If it wasn't, I'd be otherwise entertained over there.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that in public, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's good, Doctor. Okay.
Should I go sit over here?
Yeah, you go sit and be entertained there. But Dr. Drenkin is correct. This is a fundraiser for the People's Hospital, a cause near and dear to all of our hearts and pocketbooks. But without further ado, the man of the hour, Agnostic Dior.
Thank you all so very much for that very warm welcome. And thank you also for being here for the sneak peek of the preview of my new spring line, Beauty Takes Flight. I was inspired by this collection whenever I last visited India. And while staying with the Maharaja and touring his gardens and seeing his flamboyance of peacocks, I thought to myself, well, any woman can be as beautiful as a male bird if she just tries. Thank you. Thank you all again. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't announce and thank some very important people that are here this evening. I would like to start with the right hand of my company, the most important woman that I have, my sister, Deirdre Dew.
I am Nos's silent partner, so I will be silent once more.
Without Dee Dee's support, I feel the house of Nos would simply crumble around me. And speaking of support as well, 2 investors in my new line, novelist Miss Hermione Chanel and singer Miss Tosca Capella.
Thank you for having us.
I must save my voice for later, Aggie, but thank you for having us.
Both Tosca and Hermione came to me asking if I would be willing to design for women of all shapes and sizes, and I thought that every woman should have access to high fashion, as long as she can afford it. Making fashion accessible for the masses as well is magazine editor and founder of Chic Magazine, Miss Ada Sumtour, and her crack photographer, Miss Poppy Rock.
Aggie, can you turn that way for me, please? It might be a cover shot. Perfect.
Oh, Mr. Dior, I was hoping to speak to Mrs. Gertrude Seiberling or her daughter Irene. Now, may I please tell my readers why we are going on with this show if they are not here?
Mrs. Seiberling and Irene had a private preview earlier so that they could pick out their own designs first, as a thank you for hosting us in their beautiful home. And you can print that in your magazine. Speaking of magazines and publicity and 2 people that are always clamoring for more of it, rising boutique curator Mrs. Victoria Bickerson and her husband, Mr. Barker.
No, that's Big Bart Bickerstein.
And don't you forget it, in my boutique, yes, my boutique will be the biggest any town has ever seen.
The gagger.
Your boutique may be big, but I assure you my star models are bigger. First we have I muse from days of old, Miss Alata Kulata.
You missed the muse part, baby. And when I was his muse, he could do no wrong, right, baby?
Alata, Marion, play nice. Next we also have a Miss Marion Goings. She is a multi-talented beauty.
Oh, multi-talented, is that what they're calling it now?
I know you don't hear the word beauty anymore, but you do still know what it means, right?
Girls, please. And of course, my current muse, the star in my sky, my sun, and my moon, Miss Bella Notches.
No, not me. Just ignore me.
Oh, Aggie, I am so sorry. I forgot to tell you, and I wrote it down in my little book and all, but Bella has been taken ill. Her roommate called to tell me this, and I am so sorry, but I've got a dynamite replacement for you. Just wait and see.
But Bella was going to wear the final piece, the most important part of the show. Does this new model even fit into the gown?
Like she was made for it. Oh, and now that I'm up here with you, perhaps you would introduce me.
I suppose so. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Elizabeth Medler, but everyone calls me Bet Medler. I have been with Mr. Dior since the very beginning, and nothing gets done without me. Well, me and my little black book, that is. Now, outside of Mr. Dior's favorites models, we have some very talented new models, like Kitty Promenade.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so happy to be here, y'all.
And, there's Goldie Minor, a golden find if you ask me.
I don't think we're supposed to be out here yet.
It's for charity.
Who's Charity? She can see me on the runway later.
And who could forget the lovely, the lovely Maven Couture.
We are getting paid for this, right? I didn't sign up to do this for charity, whoever she is.
Also, someone you don't usually see out here because she's supposed to be backstage getting the models ready. Violet, our head seamstress.
Well, if the models would know the procedures, I wouldn't have to be out here with all of you, but it's just nice to see you all.
But last but not least, my greatest find to date. She's Bella's roommate, and she has agreed to model in the dress and finish the show. May I introduce Sharpay. Sharpay, come on here to meet Aggie.
I really would have preferred to have met her backstage and prior to now.
Well, you're meeting her now. Sharpay, come on out.
Aggie, doll! I've heard such wonderful things about you from Bella.
It's Mr. Dior to you, and funny, she's never mentioned anything about you.
Well, I just recently moved in with her. She's a sweet girl. We think she ate something that didn't quite agree with her.
Dear, we don't really need to talk about that now, you know.
But now I'm going to be in a real fashion show. This has been a dream of mine for such a long time, Mr. Dior.
What did you say is wrong with Bella? Maybe I should go check on her.
No, I'll go. We all know she prefers my company.
Oh, don't worry. I sent her some soup. She'll be fine.
You were right, Bet. Mr. Dior is wonderfully kind. I was so glad when you told me that you'd get me into the show.
Well, you know, it was really due to Bella's being...
And you were right about all the models you handpicked for Mr. Dior. They're all wonderful.
I wouldn't say she handpicked them.
Okay, how about a picture, everyone? Perfect.
Now, Ed, I know what I've done for you. It's all right here in this little book. Oh, yes. So many secrets here about so many of you. Like, for instance, your sister Dee Dee, whose name surely stands for discreet dalliances.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, and then there's our dear, sweet Tosca, who owes her entire success to her father's connections.
My father's legitimate business connections and my own talent, of course.
So you say. And then there's Hermione. Oh, whatever. Who has daddy issues of her own. What a strange honeymoon that was in Paris, right?
It was an accident. A tragic accident.
Oh, speaking of accidents, it's no accident that the Bickersons here seem to always have the latest fashions in their boutique. I'd say that someone would have to pay through the nose for that sort of information.
Our designers are well taken care of, okay?
No, they really love us for our sunny personalities.
That's right.
Well, I must say, you've always been generous
Of course.
to me.
I'm being very generous to her.
Thank you. Now, let us see. Well, perhaps those designer friends of yours, maybe they should, you should invite them to stay at the ranch with Addie.
Now, wait a minute. That is a dog.
Addie sounds better. Well, you all should go out to her ranch. She and Poppy make sure that all their guests have, shall we say, a really good time.
It's the horses. They're therapeutic.
Well, yes, and a good ride always improves one's mood, they say.
That's right. Yes, they do.
And then there's Mr. Dior's favorites, as you would call them, Miss Marion Goings, whose illustrious past just seems to be too true, too good to be true.
Any of it's false.
And then there's Alana Colada, who will do anything, to be on top.
Well, how else can I prove my stamina and determination?
But Shar here she is. Shar here is blameless and pure, a perfect addition to the house of Nas. Thank you for joining us, dear.
Well, if I might say a few words, I really
We
want
should start.
But I really wanted to.
Backstage. All models should be backstage. Oh.
Now we can begin.
But Aggie.
Hugo!
Miss Medler, we want to begin the show now. Would you please join the others backstage?
Well,
you know we can't start the show without you.
Well, that is true. It all depends on me, but Aggie, dear, remember, I know all about you too.
Backstage. Now.
Going! Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and everyone else, enjoy the show.
Now that that's over, we can begin. Check the program here. Yes. We start the evening with a musical interlude. Miss Tosca Capella will regale us with a song.
Oh, Mr. Hollywood, you put me on the spot. I have nothing prepared. Joseph, my music, please. Thank you.
Miss Capella! Miss Capella! Oh, Miss Capella! Yes, Miss Capella. I was just wondering. I was just wondering if I might be able to sing with you. You see, I've been studying under your teacher, Nadia Bollinger, and she thought we would just sound just wonderful together.
This is most unusual.
Oh, Miss Capella, you are I am your biggest fan. You are the most talented singer in the world.
Well then, I mean, who am I to stop you?
Oh!
Do you know the song?
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Let's begin then.
Kitty Promenade. I'm from Paris, Texas.
All right. Well, Kitty, you are so very green. Not quite on my level, I think. So why don't you just continue your evening as a mute model? No singing for you. Perhaps not even any talking.
Oh, but I thought we sounded really nice together.
I think you should go and sound nice backstage.
How about a different song?
Backstage now. You know, some people, they just don't have the talent.
You know, that would be a joke. You have no talent. When are we going to start the show?
Oh my gosh, Alana, your ego is the size of this room.
Really?
Why
I
can't
want
you
to
just
start
say
the show. I think
that?
everybody here came to see me. Huh?
Ladies. You're gonna argue. Why don't you fight over me?
Oh, I'm available.
He's all yours.
Oh, I've got yours.
These are fantastic.
They are not.
Look
I
at
should
where
be
we're
the
at right
first
now.
one to
Everybody
see
can see
his
us.
things coming out.
How about a picture of Spicker Sons?
Oh,
That's it. I got the title for my next novel, The Curse of the Catwalk. Just write it down.
I think I am going to go check on Bella.
And I think everyone should sit down so we can get started.
Yes. Enough.
Oh, enough?
Enough. We're here for a fashion show, not an airing of grievances or to watch some cat fight.
Cat fight?
Cat fight. Well, maybe the cat fight.
Yeah, you tell, buddy.
Maybe the cat fight. We're here to watch beautiful women slink past us in lovely clothing. Can we please get on with it?
Please.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for our first look, it's presented by Alana Olada. Alana has been working with Aggie since some of the other models were just babies. A veteran of the fashion industry, her mature, well-worn looks. Alana Olada. form of miscongeniality, but her attempts to be congenial with this group have not been fruitful. Better luck next time. Katie Promenade. Yes, and in a sassy little number, we have Goldie Minor, who certainly is something. Hopefully, I will see more. We will see more of her in the future. Goldie Minor. Our next gown is worn by Maven Couture. Maven is a recent find and a promising one at that. She seems to be able to walk a straight line. Oh, she can turn. She certainly has the fundamentals down. Maven Couture. Next, with our next look, we have Marion Goings, our woman of mystery. Marion is from somewhere. Well, she was very successful, I guess, but I don't know. She spent time with, well, actually, she doesn't like to talk about it. Maybe one day we'll find out one single fact about her. Marion Goings. Wearing the final, most important piece we have, Bella Noches. Bella? Oh, that's right. There was a substitution. Bella, I guess she was ill, and so here's there was the new girl, Sharpay, that's right. We just met her a few minutes ago, so I guess it's her. So don't trip, kid. Sharpay. Sharpay. Sharpay.
Where's she at? I believe she must be having a wardrobe malfunction. I'll just check.
There's no wardrobe malfunctions on my watch. It was perfect.
Do you need me to get in that dress?
Dr. Dranking, you know what? It is just your color. Let me go get my kit.
This is why you don't let an amateur finish off the show.
What, like you can do any better?
It's not my fault he lets Bella do whatever she wants.
You're just jealous. Oh, ladies, don't fight. Just smile and be pretty.
That's all you know how to do.
Oh, listen here, Toots.
Bet!
Oh.
Bet! Have any luck?
This is ridiculous.
What's going on?
That's not the gown!
Oh! Hello, everyone! It's a wonderful evening, isn't it? Unfortunately, I do have to run, but have a great night, everyone! 6 seconds,
Dr. Drankin, is Ben okay?
I don't know. Let me take a look. Let me get my glasses. Hold it right here.
Abraham Lincoln. Is it really? She's actually super serious.
I think she's dead.
Okay.
But who could have done this?
Probably that young woman. dancing down the hallway. Get her.
She's gone. She's gone.
Okay, I think we definitely need a picture. This could be a Pulitzer Prize winner.
Let's get in there, let's go.
Oh, perfect.
Lock up the house. Somebody call the police.
What?
Dr. Drankin, what's that there on the floor?
It's a dead body.
No, that piece of paper. I think Jared dropped it.
It looks like a dry cleaner's.
Oh, come on, Doctor. You can get it.
Here you go. Here you go.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. You might need a drink. Oh, my dear. We just saw Sharpay kill that meddler, but there's a note here. It says, I will pay you $200 to kill Meddler, and you must bring me her black book. It's signed by you-know-who.
Not even tourist nothing.
Who could have done this? Well, luckily, I was an investigator for the Pinkerton Detective Agency in Dublin.
Pinkerton?
Dublin? You want this book? Well, and I was going to say, now that we know who killed her, but we need to find out who hired her to kill, and so we need to find out who would have a motive to do that.
This thing's heavy and got a lot of words. You know how I like to read.
Well, no, just take your seat. Another thing, at the Pinkertons, we took speed reading courses. So I can quickly peruse this book, and I can see there are a lot of misspellings. Doctor. What? Well, right here, just Ada Sumter. She's got a check. Ada Sumter and
Ada.
Yeah, Ada. And it's evidently that was going to expose. And expose was in capital letters.
A camera pun. How funny.
Was going to expose what really happens at the ranch and ruin the reputations of everyone who has ever gone there.
No.
Well, I was only there for security.
Ridiculous.
Many times.
Many times?
Security is a never-ending process. That's right. Yes, so you two are, well, so they probably did it, but to be fair, we have to look at the other chapters.
Okay.
Oh, there's Tosca Capella.
Do you want my autograph?
Well, no, but, and apparently, Bet was the first person to say no to Tosca Capella. And Tosca swore that she would pay.
In money, only in money.
That's not what she's. Well, and while we're here, Hermione Chanel. Now, this is a good one. This chapter. Whew. Bet threatened to reveal to everyone the truth behind Hermione's first husband's death.
The police said it was an accident. At least I think that's what they were saying.
It was in French, but then she told me that many times.
And then there's Bart and Victoria Bickerson.
Big Bart Bickerstein.
Yes.
First word in the book.
Yeah, well, evidently, they had been bribing Bet for various things. And now, Bet was welching on them.
Welching. We don't know Welsh people.
Bribing, it's a gift.
I'm buying.
And then,
We are.
Dee Dee and Aggie Dior here, I mean, Beth had been evidently trying to take over the business.
She could.
And threatened to expose all of their secrets.
We have absolutely no secrets from anyone.
I have no secrets at all. My life is an open book.
Yes. Well, I thought we had enough, but there's another chapter here. Alada Colada.
Oh, she would have done it.
Yes. Alada has been linked to the deaths of several up-and-coming young models. As well as being a person of interest in the disappearance of a government official in her home country of Colombia.
It's a lie. Big fat lie. Big one.
Now, speaking of big fat lies, it comes with Marion Goings here. But, yeah. It looks like Beth threatened to expose who she really is and where she comes from.
But that's not actually a chapter, right? It should be like a page, not long.
Well, she's got a lot of information here. I think there's stuff that you don't want to talk about.
James.
Yeah. So,
Might have to look at that.
this is very serious. We saw Bette Midler being killed. We have many suspects here. Being an expert investigator as I am, I suggest we send them to individual rooms in this huge house, but we'll pick the rooms, otherwise they'll run away. And then we'll divide up and we'll interrogate them. First, we might start with, you just stay right there. First, we'll start with Tosca and Hermione. If you might go to the kitchen.
I don't know why that woman keeps bringing up ancient history.
You know what? I bet there's snacks in the kitchen. Oh, good. And we're not saving any for you.
While you're going that way, I think maybe Marion Goings could go to the breakfast room.
Fine, I don't know what you people will find out about me. You don't even know my real last name.
Yes, that's what we want to find out. Well, Bart and Victoria.
Big Bart.
Yeah, and Victoria Vickerson.
Vickerstein.
Would you please go to the dining room and wait for interrogation there?
Caviar and champagne.
Sounds good. But
And you know what? I can honestly say, in my social circle, I was the first to be interrogated.
But we're not going to be the first murderers.
My goodness, my goodness. Well, we have to send you just to play along as if you could be guilty, but I'm sure you're innocent. But if you could go to the billiard room, I think you'd be comfortable there.
Randy.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, this is just going to delay us to become Bella.
And I'd really like to find out where my dress went.
Yes. And then, Alata Colata. Could you please go to perhaps the west porch?
This is crazy. I'm innocent, you know? I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Just ask him. Ask him.
Well, now, we have to help out. But there's many of us, and so we need to divide into groups so that we can talk.
We can go.
Oh, we can go.
You will stay right there.
No.
You will stay right there, because we think you are probably so guilty that we don't even want you walking down the hallway by yourself. Sit right there, right there.
Stay here.
There.
Well, at least you're giving us the biggest room in the entire house.
That's
Should
it.
be.
That's it. That's because you like that ranch and those big stallions and stuff. Yeah. So, what I suggest.
Don't forget us. We're in the biggest room in the entire house.
What I suggest is group one here, this lovely looking group of intelligent people, can go to the kitchen and start interrogating Tosca and Hermione. Up we go. Off you go. Where am I? Okay. You guys, we're going to be the next group. Group two.
Town called Las Vegas. My father was a 49er in San Francisco, and it was quite wealthy, and I had an inheritance from him. Now, my first husband, Clive, he was starting to go out of town to sell trousers, a denim jean trouser, to sell them from his family. He's part of that particularly genre, leaving our two boys, Clive and Levi, to run our Velvet Violet Ranch. So, and I was working my saloon in town. So one day a fancy gentleman came in and, of course, struck a wonderful conversation with me, and we had a great conversation. And the next thing I knew was a big, burly hand came and grabbed him by the back of his neck, and the next thing I knew, there were fisticuffs going and going and going, and they were out in the street, and there was this huge duel going on, and the next thing I knew, bang! And my husband, Clive, was dead in the street. I could hardly believe my eyes. And right after that, I was getting married. I was getting married to the man that shot my husband, Mr. Charles Sumtool. Charles was my husband.
It is your husband, my dear.
He is my husband.
He is.
He is my
still
husband.
alive.
Yes, and he is my husband now. See, Charles also, when Clive died, he left the ranch in debt. The saloon was doing well, but the ranch was not. And I got along very well with Charles, and Charles needed someone to help him with his society times in New York City. So he said, let's make a deal here. If you would be my wife in New York, I will get you out of debt in your ranch. So that's what we did. He married me. I went to New York, and I started Chic because he was a publisher in New York for Gotham Publishing.
And that's actually how I met Ada.
Yes.
So I decided, I was from a small little farming town, of course with the last name of Brazzi. I'm from Milan, Ohio. But I always knew that marriage is to a man. And children, no, that was never, ever, ever going to be for me. So as soon as Pa and Ma let me and I came of age, I decided I wanted to go out to New York and do something with myself and be a career woman, because after all, it is the 1920s and we can do that now. So I went out to New York, and that is where I met Charles. I did a small spread for him in one of his architectural magazines, and Ada was so taken by the spread that I did some freelance work, that she hired me on the spot to be her principal photographer, and I've been with her ever since my entire career. She did come up with the idea to expand the Velvet Violet Ranch from a little family establishment to a retreat. You see, women can vote now. It's amazing in the 1920s, and Ada she's been so instrumental in the women's suffrage movement. Yes. That we decided, why not have a place that women could go, especially women of society, to rest, relax, leave fully satisfied. I mean, men have their cigar bars and other things, brothels. Why shouldn't women have the same opportunity to go? And so we picked the Velvet Violet. It's perfect. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's discreet. It's in this place called Las Vegas, or Las Vegas. We have a phrase: what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. It probably won't catch on, but we think it's quaint and cute. And so that is what we do. Yes. I'm responsible for the entertainment there and making sure all the women have a fabulous time at the ranch, as well as being the photographer.
Yes, so that is our background. So any questions that you may have, things that may tie us together with Bet or not. So what would you like to ask us? Anything?
So is your ranch a brothel, or how does it work?
Well, that is fairly direct. I don't like to think of it as a
We have a lot of people are interviewed. So
it is simply where women go to rest, relax, recharge, get away from the stress of the everyday world. They can be themselves. They can ride our big stallions and studs if they want, or perhaps have some wonderful boudoir photography done. You see, with some amazing lingerie, because you can't do that anymore.
Yes, we invite the
variety.
What's nice is that we invite the models from New York. We invite actresses and so forth from the West
All
Coast.
those people from that little place called Hollywood that's
It
getting
does
started
help
right now.
me with my magazine in that I can have more interviews from the new starlets and from different.
And I can take some great photos
Yes.
of them as well while
Yes,
they're there.
and so forth. So it provides me with different people that I can contacts for my magazine and so forth.
But they have very, very good-looking people that work there that
I've
live
been
in
told.
Miami.
Yes,
I've
yes,
been
I
told
know
that we
that.
have
Pardon me,
wonderful ranch hands.
you have a question?
When was the last time Bella Noches was at your ranch?
Oh, Bella's quite a frequent person that comes to the ranch, yes. She's good friends with
Dee Dee.
with Dee Dee, yes, and some of the other people, but Bella Noches does come to the ranch quite frequently.
What does she do when she's there?
Well, we don't kiss
We
and
don't
tell
ask
at our
what
ranch.
they
No.
do.
No.
You don't take pictures of it or blackmail anyone, right?
Well,
I only take pictures if they request them.
Yes, and we help them with their portfolios and whatever pictures that they need to have, yes.
Was Bet there?
Beth has been there.
Bet has been there one time, unfortunately, and she was not invited by us, by the way.
No.
She somehow managed to talk herself into coming with Dee Dee, and so we unfortunately had to suffer through her staying.
Did you take pictures of her while she was there?
No.
No. Some people we just tolerate.
Yes.
If we have to.
Bet is
Yes.
definitely on that list.
Yes. Any questions this far?
Ladies, how do you feel about Bet being murdered? Are you sad or?
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Sad?
No.
No.
No, not really.
Actually,
I mean,
surprised.
It's always sad when somebody dies.
Surprised it hasn't happened earlier. Actually, she's insufferable. Have you met her? Absolutely insufferable.
There's always a reason why people should not be on this earth. But, you know, she had quite a book full of things that, you know, she really shouldn't be here. But, you know, I don't know. I hate to talk badly about the dead, you know, so especially this soon afterwards. Did you have a question?
Why do you think that Bet wanted to expose the ranch? Why do you think she wrote that in her little black book?
Why do you think?
Because
Why
Bet is
ask me? I mean,
she's
I
a
think
meddlesome,
it's
opportunistic little. Oh.
She is opportunistic. I mean, we have a lot of very famous people, very famous women that come to our ranch. So yes, she could expose some people that would come there and hurt a lot of people. And we're not there to hurt people. We're there to
lift them up and empower them.
Yes.
And empower women.
Yes.
I think all the ladies in this group would like to go there, wouldn't you? To relax. All right, we need to move on.
If you guys say you're innocent, who would you say would have the most motive to?
Most motive? I don't know. I have a hard time with Marion Goings, or Cummings, or whatever her name is.
Cummings and goings and Cummings. Anybody that is that secretive about everything in her life certainly has a lot to hide.
Okay, we're going to have to move on to the next suspect.
Thank you, everyone. Good questions.
All right.
Okay, I did nothing wrong. I'm innocent. I like your jacket. You can stay. Too cute. Very cute. I like you. You can come over here. I don't buy too often. But it's very, you know, it's very sad when someone dies, and sometimes it's not so sad, right? This is not so sad. Very, very, very bad woman she was, huh? Very bad. She had a book full of information about all kinds of things about people, terrible things, you know. Now, nothing about me, of course, but very bad things about the people here. And it's a shame that she had to die in someone else's house, right? But the death is okay. It's okay. Survival of the fittest. That's all I have to say. I'm very blunt. You know why? I'm from Bogota. We don't mess around. We're very, very clear. Let me do that again. Bogota. 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 Do you understand? It's a whole different culture, you know? It's black and white. Information, no information. Black and white. You understand? And I'm giving you information so there's no more need to ask questions. You understand that too? Right?
Well, I do have a question. You just said you weren't in that book. I thought you were in that book.
I don't think so. What could she possibly say about me?
A lot.
I don't think so. A lot. I've had a very successful modeling career. I still have the career. I make a lot of money. I'm very kind. I'm very nice. I work very hard, you know. I'm an upstanding citizen. I pay my taxes. I'm very nice to people. I'm very generous. I have money in my little bag right here for anyone who wants to go early and leave. And maybe, you know, stop talking.
How much money do you have in there? $200?
I might have more than that, maybe. But definitely 200 in cash. Yes, I do. If you want to leave and never come back, I give you the money. Again, it's just exchange, you know, black and white information, and you go on your way. I don't like you. It's not a good idea to get on my bad side. It's not a good idea, you know? It can be very bad for you.
Alana, why did you leave Colombia? Can you tell us that?
It was time for me to go. You know, it was getting very hot. The weather, it's very, very hot in Bogota. I needed to get to cooler climate. It was time to go. You know, my family is there. You know, we're very, very extensive, very wealthy, very successful family. A lot of businesses. You know, I need to flap my own. What you say? Wings.
Did you ever go to the ranch?
Oh, yes.
Did you relax?
We are a mixed company, but let me tell you, ladies, go to the ranch. Life-changing ranch, can I say? It's spectacular. You know, nothing in my country compares, and you know what they say about Colombian men. These people are fantastic. I don't know where she finds them. It's fantastic. It's a great place. The horses, I mean.
Of course.
Fabulous horses. Yes.
Questions? How do you feel about Bet being killed?
It's okay. It's okay. It's time. She was a bad person. She was doing bad things. It was time for her to go. It's a shame, you know. I don't know who did it. I have my opinion who did it, but you know, it's only a matter of time. When you do this kind of things to people, they find, you know, it catches up with you.
How do you know
Just
she did
remember
all those bad things? Maybe they were just rumors.
The book?
You said maybe they were. How do you know they were?
No, because I know her for many years. You see, I've known her for a long time. She and I and Aggie were at the beginning together, you see. We started. And we were all friends. And then she decided to not take care of him and not take care of me and think only of herself. You see. And that is when it goes, right? When you're no longer fair and honest.
What was she doing that wasn't fair to you?
Well, it wasn't to me. So thank you for correcting me. Sorry if I gave that impression.
Alana, did anybody like her?
Did you like her? Okay. No one liked her. Maybe her mother.
Anybody in her side.
Maybe her mother, but that's probably all. Not even a dog. She couldn't even keep a dog. That's a shame. It's a shame. It's just too bad. So it's a shame.
So who do you think did it then?
Do you know, as I sit here and think about it, I think, believe it or not, I think it was Tosca, the little opera singer or the anti-opera singer. Do you know why? I will tell you why I think so. Because in my country, my family is part of the cartel. You know, we make cocoa, just cocoa. Understand? Okay. So her family is also kind of the Italian cartel, the mob. You see, the mafia. And I know how this works, you know. I know if you slight the daughter of a very important man, it can harm you. And Bet crossed Tosca, and I think Tosca said, "Daddy," ding, 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 ding. And Daddy went, "Oh."
Okay.
This is what I think. It's possible. You know,
More
this is my
questions?
world. This is what I know. Do you know?
More questions? I didn't know whether they had any more.
Could you say where you're from one more time?
Bogota. Yes. It's a lovely city, you know. But I tell you, you better know what you're doing there. You can get lost. It doesn't go well for you. Gringos there, it's not good. And you know, while we are talking about this, talking about fathers and daughters and being true and being, keeping your mouth shut, if I can say, it's important that you do that while you are here tonight. You see, two things I want you to do for me. I want you to see if you can find the black book, and if you can, bring it to me. Because I will protect people in the book. That is my job.
How much will you get for it?
I'm sorry.
How much will you get for it?
I give you $1,200. I have it in my bag right now. Let me tell you, 1920, lot of money. But I want to tell you that in Colombia, we have a way to help you understand that you need to be quiet tonight. And I want to introduce you to my little friend. And her sister. Now, this is no guilty, and this is innocent. You understand what I'm saying to you? I think you do. I think it's very clear, right? This is how we take care of things in Colombia. We want you to be quiet, so we say Bogota. Do you understand? So it's okay. So you can spend the rest of the evening with your lips shut.
So you're saying that you believe, or you're leaning towards Al Capella's daughter?
Yes.
I see.
Tosca. Yes. And I'm telling you for sure, it's no me. Innocent, no guilty. Okay? It's so clear, right? Information. Right? Okay, time to go, right?
It is time to go.
Okay, anything else before we move on? Are we good?
I'd like to know, Alana, how do you feel living such a fabulous life to be here tonight to be dressed like a bird, of all things?
You know, it's so sad. I must say, I love the House of Nos, and I love Augie, and we've been so close for so many years. But I gotta tell you, he's losing his edge, you know? Male birds, come on. It's crazy, right?
I agree.
You know? I mean, I can look gorgeous in a sack. Right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter for me, I don't mind, but you know, come on. Male birds, it's a bit of a stretch, you know. It's just, he's losing his edge, you know. It's time for him to do farm work. Out to the farm, out to the pasture, right? That's what they say. That is this.
Okay, let's move on. Thank you,
Oh,
Alana.
you have to go.
All right, let's move on this way.
Just remember, right? No chips in my little box.
We are sorry that
Oh,
to
my
meet on this
goodness.
circumstances.
Sounds like what someone who's guilty would say.
Exactly.
I don't understand. Listen, let me tell you the story of Big Bart and Victoria S. Okay? So we met in Chicago. Actually, it was on Lake Michigan. Okay? I was docking the Bart S1, the Big Bart. And she was in her little boat, sailboat.
Schooner.
It was, my boat's bigger. And we all know that you look like a sailor. The more time, the bigger the ship, right? They have the right of way. And she would not take her schooner. Anyhow, so I docked and I got off my boat. I walked down the pier and I said, "Hey, did you know?" And once I saw her, I fell in love.
No, that's not when you fell in love with me. You fell in love with me when I said to you, "Hey, don't you know anything about buoys? This is a regatta, and every good sailor knows what side to be on which buoy." And apparently you went right through it, almost causing me to end my long stream of titles of regatta queen.
But you won.
Yes, I did.
All right? And I asked her out to dinner, and she said yes.
Because you took me to the Palmer House.
It's a very good dinner. Nice steaks.
Yes, but I wasn't sure if I was in love with him, so I wanted to prove to him that I am a better sailor, because I am. And so I took him on my schooner across the big water to our
Lake Michigan.
To our house, our summer house, my family's summer house in Holland.
Michigan again, state, Michigan
Anyways,
state.
and that's where we had a lot of time to talk and sail, and look into each other's eyes. And that's where we discovered that we both love money. I mean ambition. And business.
Adventure.
And we're very
Money.
good business people. Yes, who doesn't like money? It's 1924. Anyway, so I'm here because I love Aggie's line, and I met Aggie in New York through our mutual friend, Poppy and Alada.
We're friends.
Love Alada. And so I wanted to come and buy his line so I could carry it and be the first to carry it. I wanted to be the first to carry his line in my boutique on State Street in Chicago. So
Victoria,
yes.
you're forgetting about the sandwich shop. We were going to open up the boutique shop and the sandwich, like a door going right in there, right? Because I offered, you ever heard of the Gagger?
You know it's that long piece
it's a big
of sausage between two
right?
pieces of bread. You put mustard. And
everybody likes to have a Gagger in their mouth, right? You know about a Gagger, don't you? It's nice.
That will never last in Chicago. It will. That sandwich will never go away in Chicago. Anyways, they're here to ask us questions because I'm thirsty and I want some champagne.
Me too.
Does anybody have any questions? Because me, I could go on about Victoria.
How come you guys have the latest fashions like right after everyone else does, or really quick?
Right after? Hey,
right before. I apologize.
Because
Think about
I have to be the first at everything. That's how my whole family is. In fact, it was my grandfather who was the first to build the terracotta buildings after the Great Fire in Chicago. So I'm just living the legacy. And we have money, and some of these fashion designers have a lot of expenses, so we help them a little bit with their expenses, like paying models.
Or murderers.
That's a 2 M's.
$200? Oh no, that's way
nothing.
too cheap. That young girl is not a good business.
So what you're saying is that would have been easy money for you to spend.
Oh gosh.
Of course, easy. Wait
Absolutely. A drop in the bucket.
What kind of cargo do you carry in the ship?
All kinds of cargo. It's sealed up. We pick it up, put it on the boat, and ship it. I know that we do a lot of maple syrup from Canada to Chicago for Alada's father.
Al Capella.
Yeah.
It's all legitimate.
I'm a legitimate businessman.
Everybody loves maple syrup.
Everybody likes a maple syrup. You might even put your Gagger on it.
It comes in really cute bottles.
With a Gagger.
With a Gagger.
What does the S stand for in your name?
Oh, it's a secret, but it certainly doesn't stand for strangulation.
No strangulations.
Are you sad that Beth's dead?
I'm disappointed because I'm out a lot of money. I have no merchandise to take back to Chicago with us. So now I have to go and talk to my friend Poppy about the woman who designed those trousers of hers, Coco or Kiki.
Chanel.
Yeah.
Chanel?
Yes. So now I have to go back to Paris and get, some other... Oh, yes. It's a long, long call there.
I don't know about sad. I'm a little upset myself. I'm kind of miffed.
She was always asking for more money. She'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll push your order. She never did, and then Bart would have to give her more money because
200,
somebody
300,
needed
400.
Somebody in her family needed this, or she needed new shoes, or whatever. And she was always writing our whatever we did in that little nasty little black book.
It's like that Floozy in Green. She's always asking me for money.
Asking for money.
Are you
What do you have on you? We offer it for me to keep quiet.
Doc, do you have any champagne? I'm getting very thirsty.
No, but I have a little nip.
No, thank you. I only drink champagne.
Hold on. You want some of this?
Did either of you know the Cyberlinks, and that way when you came to the house, you...
I know
Yes,
the
Bart.
Cyberlinks.
Yeah.
I've met them once or twice.
Yeah, his last name's Cyberlink, so he might just know. Dr.
Ben Drinkin.
So,
Dr.
Bart, how do you know
Cyberlink.
the Cyberlinks?
Well, I really don't know FA per se. I know his
Come here once
VPs.
or
I was
twice.
going
See
to
him.
buy rubber and trucks. My trucking industry. Hauling it from my ships to the trucks and get them all over the place. I'm going to be Entrepreneur of the Year.
And you're humble.
I am humble.
We made a lot of money for the hospital tonight.
So it's maple syrup and tires. Any
Sausage.
cocoa from
And Gaggers.
And Gaggers, yeah.
Anything from Colombia ever make it into your ship?
Up and down the Mississippi.
Well, Alada is a good friend of mine. I met her in New York.
New York.
at a fashion show.
Chicago, Poughkeepsie.
And she needed some help of mine, so I gave her some help. She was in a little trouble, a little legal trouble. Something with her passport or something.
What'd you do, pay them off?
No, I just paid for her to get out of trouble.
Who do you think killed Beth?
Oh, I would go with, actually I'd ask Acapella what's going on there, because you know, her
Tosca?
yeah. Tosca. Yeah, her father was always demanding to make sure all the shipment was there.
That Marion Goings, there's something very, very strange about her, because she just came out of nowhere, and I've seen her at other fashion shows, and she's always just trying too hard to get people to like her, but nobody knows anything about her.
Did you see her walking down the runway?
And every time at the last fashion show, she came out of her room with Bet, and Bet looked very, very upset.
Oh, I remember. You told me that.
Yes, so I don't know. Something's very mysterious about that Marion Goings.
Why does the girl in green say you gave her money to keep her quiet?
She kept yapping when it's your time to talk, so we just offered her money to keep her.
It's quiet time.
Up truthful facts, and they didn't like that.
Oh, she's obviously
delusional.
Your nose is growing because.
She mentioned that Bart, you've been taking Victoria's money.
It's our money.
How would I?
It's our money.
I have a successful vote industry.
We didn't even get most of her
back.
Nothing. I bought nothing.
You bought nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Did you buy a fancy steamer?
What?
You bought us. You said you were going to buy me another schooner.
It's the
and we were
Victoria
going to
4,
go to
but no, wait,
Ireland.
Victoria 3. That's where we're going.
I don't
on the
care
Victoria
if it's
4.
Victoria 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. You said you were going to buy. Okay. We're going to talk about this on our way home.
Well, do you enjoy bickering?
We don't bicker.
We are. We have
Sounds awfully familiar to Vickers.
Your name Bickerson.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
It's got
That's
the bickering.
bickering.
That's Bickerstein.
That's bickering. If it was
Bickerstein.
bantering, it'd be funny.
What's
That's
banter?
not funny.
We don't banter. We love each other. Isn't that what the bad? That's assault and battery. That's assault and battery. I would never hit my wife.
Never, because I hit him back.
Good. You might need one.
Okay, any more
I
questions?
have very strong hands.
Any more? Okay, thank you, the bicker sons.
Stein. Sen.
Just call us
Baker
Bart.
Sen. Big Bart.
Victoria.
Big Bart, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Okay,
you.
We'll see you later.
I hope we wrap this up soon.
Can't wait to get out of here.
That
you
little,
want some champagne.
little Sharpay is still running around here. People are saying she's.
Look for the Chinese girl.
Yeah. Hi. Do you know who did it?
I told her. I'm trying to figure out.
The kitchen is the best place at every party.
Oh, yeah. The best gossip. All right, are we almost done?
Okay, we are done. All right.
Okay, welcome everyone. This is Tosca.
Hi.
And I'm Hermione Chanel. I was born in Paris, Maine. My mother died when I was quite young, and my father was so devastated by her death that he threw himself into expanding the family business. Starlight Express, railroads, shipping. And I was raised by the governess, who not only encouraged my love of learning and experiencing new things, but also the fact that I can be or do anything that I want as long as I set my mind to it. And I went to the University of Zurich for a while, studied mathematics, and I met a fellow student who happened to be a member of a certain royal family, and we enjoyed each other's company for a little while until I grew bored with him. And I retreated to a cottage in the woods for about 8 to 9 months, where I read and contemplated life. And that is where I discovered the mystery novels and became fascinated and was going to write one of my own based upon my own experiences and adventures. But alas, My father died suddenly, and his will stated I had to be married in order to inherit. Thankfully, my father's oldest friend and confirmed bachelor, Seamus O'Rourke Enterprises, lumber and paper mills, agreed to the marriage, and we were married and honeymooned in Paris, France, in order to be one of the first to see this magnificent new monument, the Eiffel Tower. But unfortunately, while we were at the tower, admiring the scenery, Mr. O'Rourke,
Mr. O'Rourke was leaning over the edge to see the view, and unfortunately he fell and he died. A life cut short at 97.
Yes.
He had so much left to give.
So much to give, yes. Yes.
In his prime, he was in his prime.
He was in his prime, yes. And during my period of mourning, I completed my novel and found out that the publishers would not publish anything by a female novelist. So I resubmitted the novel under H.C. O'Rourke. It was published and became an instant hit, and I have been writing ever since, and if any of you have one of my books, it would be my pleasure to autograph it for you.
Speaking of autographs, I'm sure you all want mine. Tosca Capella, infamous singer, as I've been called. My father, Al Capella, very prominent businessman. My twin sister, Carmen, wanted to go into business with him, and I decided to pursue the artistic route. So as I was going around and, taking in art and culture, I met this wonderful opera singer named Gino Bellini.
He's excellent.
He's wonderful. Oh, excellent singer. But he was only willing to be romantically involved with another singer. And what would you know? I found I had such a gift for singing. And so we're engaged now. Congratulations to me.
Congratulations.
And of course, I've been making a name for myself in, the music world. I've been going, my voice teachers, I've been outgrowing them so quickly. My talent just grows so large that I have to find a new one. And my father, of course, is paying top dollar for each new voice teacher that I'm going to. My father, of course, wonderful man. My sister and I, when we were born, our mother unfortunately passed away. So our father has been mother and father to us our entire lives. And speaking of my father, the song I was going to sing tonight is actually my father's favorite song. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to finish it real quick. So I'm just going to...
That's okay. I know the acoustics here is very lovely.
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful. But you want to save your voice and have them pay to attend your concert.
Yes. Of course, you're right. But of course, we have a mystery tonight, right? A mystery we need to solve, and we have an expert in mysteries right here. So anything that we can do to help you solve what happened to poor Bet, please ask us, and we'll try to help you. Pay no attention to the people going in and out of that.
Pay no attention to the people behind the door.
It's just the help in the house. It's fine. Yes. That's their door they go through. But yes, any questions? Again, Dr. DeRenken. All right. Do you have any questions, Doctor? Bet was dead, right?
Yeah.
Strangled?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Any other questions?
And you know what? Somebody asked me if I knew the time of death.
Oh, I don't know what time it was.
I said the time you saw her.
That's right.
We need to get you a pocket watch, Dr. Drankin.
I mean, I only generally deal with live things.
That's true.
That's true.
That's very true. But any questions
Well,
from... Yes.
alive when
Yes.
they start.
I'm kind of curious, how did your mother die?
In childbirth. 2 of us ripped through her, and she just died of blood loss, I assume. I was a baby. I don't really remember. But yes, according to my father, that happened a lot to women back then,
Yes.
Doctors didn't wash their hands all the time. So they do now. It's better.
I have a question, Hermione.
Of
So,
course.
in your books, since you said that they kind of reflect your life, does anyone get pushed off of towers or buildings, or do they just fall naturally because of gravity?
He had his cane out, too.
He had his cane out in doing this, but no, never.
So it's more like
My first novel was based on that.
He was very tall. She's very small. How's she supposed to stop it?
I was holding his shoe as he went over. That's the only thing I could grab because he was so tall. And he was just leaning over and,
She's a pocket-sized woman. Do you see her? I can fit her in my pocket. If I had them. I'm a woman. I don't get them.
Yes, no. If I have a writer's block or something, I just go on an adventure, and eventually it comes to me.
Like her 9 months in the woods.
Like my 9 months in the woods.
Sometimes she finds things.
It wouldn't have been a pregnancy the 9 months.
Thank you.
I don't think that's rather pertinent.
We are in mixed company.
Yes.
But you found something, didn't you?
I did find a wee babe in the woods, edge of the woods. She was such an angel. And I made sure that she was adopted into a good family and checked on her throughout the years. Unfortunately, she married into a very shady family, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, she died in childbirth, giving birth to twin daughters.
Can you believe that? My mother, also adopted, married my father, a prominent businessman, and died in childbirth, giving birth to twin girls. What are the odds that we found each other? Isn't this amazing? What a coincidence! What a small world. What a coincidence.
Yeah, really.
So what actually did your father do? What kind of business, Tosca?
Legitimate. So I asked him once, I sat down and I said, Daddy, what kind of business do you do? And he said, legitimate. So I don't know if he sells it or if he ships it or if he makes it. I think it's a type of flooring, but legitimate. Yes. That's the type of business he's in.
Yes.
So far, the people that we've talked to have not been fond of Bet. How do you guys feel about her dying, and what was your relationship with her like?
I will just say, God's timing is always right. Although I am a little perturbed. So Bet didn't want me to sing tonight. She pitched a little fit about it and tried to tell me no, a big fit about it. Tried to tell me no, so I called my father. He pulled some strings. I was still able to sing tonight. And I'm sad Bet is dead because I wanted to rub it in her smug little face that she didn't get to say no to me. But other than that, she was just a little busybody.
Yeah, she was.
No one's really that sad that she's gone.
No, I mean, I'm sorry
Not
she's
that we
dead,
did
but
So
it's a better place. I'm sorry?
Who done it if it wasn't you two?
I wouldn't like to think any one of us could have done it.
Oh, what was your question?
Who do you think did it?
Oh, well, if I'm writing this story, I would point to me because I have no reason to kill anybody.
Yes. It's always the least likely person.
My father's estate was huge. What I inherited from Mr. O'Rourke was just like pocket change to me. We loved each other, but in our own ways. But he was able to continue with his dalliances, and I was able to continue with my writing.
Yes,
so
nice. Mr. O'Rourke went 96 years without marrying a woman, and then he marries her. That's not love. I don't know what is.
Yes.
Awesome.
But in the middle of my story, I would put a twist.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Oscar, what do you think was in Beth's book about you?
Who knows? When I met Bet, it was out at the ranch, Ada and Poppy's ranch out in Las Vegas, the Velvet Violet Ranch. And, Dee Dee brought her. You're supposed to be invited, but Dee Dee brought Bet, and no one was that excited. She was getting into everybody's business. But all I really do there, they let me sing, which is nice. And then, of course, they have the big, beautiful stable with all their horses in it. And they have about, 50 stable hands to about a dozen horses. And so I go out to the stable, right, to ride the horses, and sometimes Dee Dee's there, and sometimes Poppy would be with me. But all the other women who stayed there, the famous women, they wouldn't be in the stables. They would stay in rooms in the house, and I think they were playing games, and they win a lot, because I hear a lot of yes, 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 yes. And the stable hands must be losing, because I don't hear them cheering at all. But, I guess it's fun. But I met Bet at the ranch, and, I guess if she wrote anything, it would be a really good singer. Loves horses. I guess doesn't win games at the ranch, like all the other women do.
I'm sure the hired help were paid
to lose. Yes, to let them win.
Yes.
That makes sense.
All right, any other questions? Because we got to move along. All right, thank
No one else?
you.
All right, I think you're going to the breakfast room, so hopefully you'll get some breakfast.
Yeah. You're laughing about the ranch and studs, but not someone.
We in?
It's so noisy out there. Really, there's just far too many people in here for my liking, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about that right now, is there?
No, you're not very nice, are you?
No, she's not.
She's not very welcoming.
No,
Very rude.
sorry, I believe I saw the delivery man who brought a package earlier to me, so I was wondering how he actually managed to get in here. Anyways, I'm supposed to tell you something about myself, or do you have questions, or...
I'd like to hear about you if you could.
Okay, let's see. I have 2 parents, and...
Specifics would be fantastic.
Okay, I guess if you want more details. I grew up in a state between Illinois and Ohio, and then after some time, I grew up, and then I moved to New York, and then I worked as a chorus girl for a little while, and now I'm a model. And, wow, that's the most I've ever said in one sentence. And let's see, next week I do have an interview with Vogue, a photo shoot with Vogue, and I'm very excited about it. It's with the famous photographer, Shoal something. Anyways, he said that if this photo shoot goes well enough, I could be a regular feature, and I'm very excited about that. It means I'm one step closer to living my dream of living in a house in the country and never having to talk to anyone ever again. And that's really all I want in life. And yeah, so I mean, I really don't know what more you could possibly want to know about me. That was more than I usually like to tell about myself.
You know, one of the models encouraged us to ask you about the Ziegfeld Follies and claimed you were there.
Yes. She said the other month, but she's misremembering it entirely. It was a very, very long time ago, and I haven't been a chorus girl for a long time. Long time.
Let's talk about the book that you just got. What's in the book that you just got?
The black book.
I don't have a black book. I had a compact.
No, you said you had a book.
Beth had the black book.
Well, Beck had the black.
Right. Did she write anything about you?
I mean, I would hope that it was only a page. I don't know what else she found out about me, but knowing Beth, she likes to be thorough and do her digging. Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm hoping that the most she found out about me, it's not a hard thing to do, was my last name, but that's between me and the U.S. government. I pay my taxes like any good citizen would. But other than that, I really don't know what else she would have gotten about me.
Why do you keep your parents and your last name secret?
You know, I did have a bit of a rough childhood with my parents. It's something that I like to keep something private to myself, and I prefer to focus on the future, which again involves me going to the country and not having to talk to many people for a very long time.
You can tell us this is a safe place, except for that girl who died, but other than that, it's a real safe place.
Yeah, see, this is the same reason that I don't go to the ranch. Far too many people there. I mean, way too many people. And there's paparazzi with a camera. I mean, no, not exactly my scene.
Have you ever gone to the ranch?
No, and I have no desire to.
Why would you want the black book?
Because I want to see what Bette knew about me and if any of it was actually correct. I mean, the woman was irritating, but you know, she does occasionally get some things right. It wasn't very smart of her to go and hire an assassin to go and kill her. Well, I mean, she didn't know that she was an assassin, but you know, Bette can be thorough, but sometimes she misses really gaping big secrets that are just right there in front of you.
Have you ever dated Aggie?
Oh, well, yes, but I mean, Aggie goes through his muses, and then, you know, he moves on to his new ones, but I'm completely fine with that. I appreciate that Aggie has given me opportunities, but I actually am seeing a gentleman right now. He's very nice. He's a writer, in fact. You may have heard of him, E.E. Cummings. He is just, he allows me to just breathe and gives me my space, and that is something that I very much appreciate.
You said Bette missed big secrets, like what?
Oh, you know, just when it comes to hiring models. I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say it's secrets, but just, who's actually cut out to be a model and who's not. Now, who does have a good eye is Alana. Now, granted, she's been in this industry for a very, 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 very long time. I mean, a really just long time she has been in it. But, even in her wizened age, she's still got quite the eye about who is going to make it or break it.
Well, what does she say about you?
Alana?
Will you make it or break it?
I mean, for as long as I've known her, we tend to be on the same page about things. They say keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. If I had to sum it up a different way, I'd love to hate her. And I think she feels the same way about me. And that's kind of nice. Very consistent.
Who do you think killed Bet?
Oh, I mean, I've got two folks in mind. I mean, one, that mystery writer, she doesn't seem like she's a very good one because I've never heard of her, and
She's having a good time, don't mind her.
They're at the ranch.
Yeah,
The ranch.
reenacting the ranch, it's okay.
I'm surprised Dr. Durankin hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, he was in there, don't worry.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Two
Mr.
people.
Cummings hasn't heard about this writer, so I mean, probably that, she's not very good, so maybe she's one of those kinds of people who needs to have something happen right in front of her to write it down. I mean, that's just my natural suspicion. However, my even greater suspicion is the Bickerson. They can't even agree on the same name. And I mean, two people who can't agree on the same name together as a couple, I mean, it sounds like that maybe their communication isn't very good, so who knows, what else is going on behind the scenes there. Bobbins, what do you want?
Quite frankly, number one, I'm hiding from Dr. Drankin.
Oh, that I can understand.
I don't think he stopped. Did we really check? Is he a real doctor? Because I'm a little concerned.
Just don't have him check out any ailments you have right now.
Yes, good call. Also, I just wanted to make sure that my dress was staying nice and crisp and clean and on in the house.
You are so paranoid. And can we talk about the fact that my mirror in my compact was completely dusty when I opened it up? I mean, Bobbins, I thought you were in charge of all of the accessories and everything too. I mean, what kind of seamstress are you that you can't keep our things straight and nice?
I'm the seamstress that spent hours, countless finger pricks on those sequins. I mean, whoever decided to add sequins should be shot. But that's another story for another time. I just want to make sure that that dress stays here. Miss Goings tend to get going with my dresses from time to time, and that one spent too many hours to go anywhere but here.
Maybe if you were a little less paranoid, my stuff wouldn't be all messed up. So if you could maybe keep that in mind the next time you are moving around my things.
Whoa. Much as I'd hate to go find Dr. Drake, and I think I do, I just step out there.
How do you feel about Bella? Do you have any feelings since she's the new muse?
I mean, not really, just because I think we all kind of know that Aggie goes through his muses, and his different phases and everything, like artists in different periods and transitions in life. So that's kind of how Aggie operates, and I think, we appreciate that he allows us opportunities, and that is enough for most of us.
Opportunities to model or
Yes.
opportunities to do other things?
To model, it's very hard to be an independent woman in New York City and have a decent job that doesn't require ranch-like things.
Well, I would think you'd need the ranch living in New York.
No, absolutely not. I am more of a monogamous kind of person, and again, the less people the better. That's far too many people in one place. I mean, I don't very much enjoy here. The idea of being at the ranch just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
All right.
Oh,
go
I heard
ahead.
from one of the other suspects that you and Bet had a conversation behind closed doors and came out looking very uncomfortable. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. I guess. I mean, I was always just uncomfortable talking to Bet because she was always going, I have my book don't forget, I have my book. I know everything about you. Do, 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 do. So, you know, sometimes just to get her to quiet down and go on with her day and maybe focus on somebody else was always, you know, a lot of work. A lot of work. Bet was a lot of work. But, you know, she did do a lot of stuff for Aggie, so I can't speak too poorly on her. I'm sure somebody's going to miss her.
So you tell her things so she'd leave you alone?
I mean, you know, I just, you know, you just say, yes, Bet, okay, Bet. All right, Bet, you've got it. She didn't like that Aggie liked to keep around models. She wanted more of a hand and control in the business, so she was always trying to push other newer models onto Aggie, hoping that one of them was going to be the new star. But Aggie's muses have always been some people that he's found on his own.
Okay, any others? All right, we're going to go to the last room. Thank you, Miss Goins.
Sweet.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. Watch out for Dr. Durankin.
Would you like to start, Moss?
Well, I suppose our story starts on the beaches of Naples.
Florida.
Dear and I are twins, but she is a day older.
You just had to drag behind by a few hours so you could have your own special day, didn't you?
I do like to make an entrance.
Papa was a banker and Mama was a seamstress.
Dear was always great at school, especially math. She used to camp out in Papa's office for hours just trying to learn
Really anything he was willing to teach me, and you caught right on to Mama's work.
anything related to art. I always enjoyed.
Enjoy implies a hobby. Nos is a gifted artist.
Painting, drawing, designing, that's all I ever really cared about.
It made school interesting. We often finished each other's work for various subjects.
And no one ever caught on. It worked out really well for both of us.
Once we had finished secondary school, I went to New York to study law at New York University.
And I went to Paris, France, obviously, to study fashion. After I graduated, I started working at Versailles as a junior designer, and that's where I first met Alana.
You did wonderful work for Versailles.
While you were off becoming a fancy lawyer.
Trying to.
That's true. And I was trying to make a name for myself in Paris fashion. I don't know how I would have made it if it hadn't been for Papa's support. I mean, he paid for my apartment and all my necessities. I would have barely been scraping by.
Well, same for me. Papa paid for my apartment in Manhattan. I couldn't have done it without him.
Neither could I. I still feel so guilty.
Don't. There's nothing you could have done. I should have known about the money.
Don't blame yourself either. I mean, neither one of us could have known that Papa was spending everything on us and saving nothing.
Nothing, really. I still can't believe it.
Neither can
I had completed my law degree and passed the bar, but I struggled to find work as an attorney. All the law firms that I applied to had created this little loophole. I could practice law legally, but they wanted me to be a member of the American Bar Association, which at the time was still not a possibility for women.
It's despicable, really. I mean, to just dangle that carrot in front of her just to keep you out of their world on a technicality.
I was only able to keep trying to find work because of Papa bankrolling me. Well, that is, until he
died. Dear rushed home to be with Mama and help her out and help make arrangements for the funeral. She was going to wire money to me as well so that I could come home, but after her flight and all of the arrangements, the money
was all gone. There was no money left. Since I wasn't working, I stayed behind with Mama to try to help her grow her seamstress business, but it was no use. She was so distraught over losing Papa, she simply couldn't work anymore.
And at that same time, Alana had introduced me to Bet, who was working for Raphael Lauren. Bet was very impressed with all of the work I had been doing and actually ended up getting me a job as a senior designer there. Now, the new position came with a very nice raise, and I was finally able to support myself completely. Only there wasn't any money left to send home to dear and Mama.
I'd had a professor in college. I only knew him from a single history course, but I knew he'd taken a shine to me. So I had never planned on being married, but I knew it was the best chance at the money we so desperately needed. So I married a Spanish-American War veteran, 20 years my senior, Commander Michael Bolton.
Meanwhile, I was dreaming of being able to start my own fashion line. Bet and Alana were both there supporting me and nurturing me and really doing what they could to help me be able to plan for when that day could possibly come. And, well, actually, that day did come.
Well, we hadn't been married very long when the United States joined the Great War. My husband re-enlisted and was aboard the USS Cyclops when it disappeared. Mama and I went to visit Nos in Paris, and we were delighted to see all the great work he was doing. I knew that I wanted to do whatever I could to support his dreams.
And Dear was an absolute doll. She invested her inheritance and some of her widow's pension into my line so that I was finally able to start my own fashion house. With that, I moved back to the United States with Alana and Bet and founded the House of Nos in New York City.
I was elated to invest in our futures. Coincidentally, women finally were able to join the Bar Association. So I became licensed in New York State, and I joined the House of Nos as business partner and attorney. I'm only considered his silent partner because I have zero design input.
And I have absolutely no say in anything financial. That is all Dear.
And that's us. Any questions?
Did Alana start out with you, Mr. Dior?
She was a working model when we met. She just was not extremely well known yet.
But she is now.
But she very much is now.
Okay. You seem like a loving brother and sister. Were you competitive as youth?
You can't really compete when you don't have any of the same talents.
Yeah, we were more complementary
Yes.
than competitive.
Yes.
Have there ever been rumors of embezzling money or anything like that?
Who?
You.
Me? Not that I'm aware of. I am not.
I mean, I have nothing to do with the finances, but we have accountants and people like that that work with her, so I'm sure if there were rumors, it would have been proven.
Who do you suspect killed her?
What was that? We couldn't hear it.
Who do you suspect killed her?
I was saying that to Nos that I really didn't think about how very little we know about Marion Goings until this evening, and now that concerns me a little bit.
And I don't know a lot about Marion's past, but I've certainly known her for some time now, and I cannot see her trying to have someone killed. Personally, I think the person that has the most to lose if any secrets were revealed and their reputation ruined would be Ada. I mean, she is the founder and editor of Chic magazine, and if she would go down, then so would the magazine and all of her livelihood and anything she could leave behind.
Are you sad that she died?
Absolutely. I'm sad and I'm angered and I'm frustrated because now I have to find somebody to replace her. It's going to be very difficult to find someone that can do the job that she did and that I can trust as implicitly as her. If it was not for Bet, I probably would not be in the situation I'm in right now.
What would you pay for the black book?
I think it's a worthless piece of paper. So, nothing.
Okay. You don't think you're in it?
If I am in it, she thought she knew something about me, but honestly, I have no secrets from the people that I would care to know anything about me. They know everything there is to know.
What about your brother's secrets? You said you had secrets in the book.
There are secrets in the book, and she has alluded to them in the past, but it is simply that I have had many affairs with many models. It's not a secret, and honestly, the best way to design for a woman is to know what her body looks like.
Any other questions? We're letting them off easy.
Sound pretty convincing to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
So is your line complete now, by the way? Are you ready to show it and out to the world?
It will be completed, yes. There are still some
So you
minor
have the money,
tweaks.
since both of you are now sort of independent, to fund it, to get it off the ground?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
but my line is very secure and stable. Like the line itself is doing wonderfully, I believe.
Are you still looking for Bella's address?
I saw it actually in the entry to the library on our way back here.
Oh, great.
Were either of you ever at the ranch?
I have attended the ranch before, yes.
You have?
Yes.
And you relaxed and enjoyed it?
I really enjoyed the horses.
I did. The studs or the horses? There you go.
The horses.
Okay, then we're letting you off the hook easy. So follow me, if you will. We're going down to the auditorium.
Criminology is going to develop within your very eyes. But first, I see this couple over here, very smartly dressed at this table. I think you are possibly the first, right down here, to toss that in there. Might have been here, the first people here, so you must have an idea who did it. Come on. Dee Dee? Oh, okay, well done. We heard it there. If I look over here at the voting, it appears that Augie and Dee Dee are indeed highly suspected of committing this additional crime. And so, this is how this process works. We're going to ask them to come up and see who else will pick, see who has the highest probability, and then we'll do some final interrogation, and we will solve this. So, Augie, Dee Dee, now I know two of you, and I know that you're obviously innocent, but you have to play along. There's stairs over at the other side. Sir? Yes. Now, there was another couple over there, Tosca Capella and Hermione Chanel. Oh, yeah. Where'd Hermione go? There she is. She was heading for the back door. Come on, up here. Tosca and Hermione. And you're not going to say. We did that. We're not going to do that again. Now, and then there was also Marion Goings. She also is heading towards an exit. So just stop right there, young lady. Come up here. You are suspected of being guilty. Yes. All right. Now, thank you all. Thank you all. So let's see what they have to say. Quiet, please. Quiet. There we go. Now, let's turn this magical device on. Oh, there we go. We'll start right here. Yeah, you. Yes. That the woman with so many secrets seems very suspicious. Who are you? Why are you here? Which world did you come from? And is that what Bet was going to expose, and that's why you had her killed?
Okay, to answer your question in order, my name is Marion Goings. I'm from, if I have to reveal this date, Indiana.
Oh,
I know
no wonder.
I know, that was far too much information that I'd like to reveal. I mean, Bet just knew far too much, but not enough about me to actually, hire a really, really bad assassin. I mean, the worst assassin I've ever seen. Sure, did she get the job done? Yes. But she got caught. Now, what good assassin gets themselves caught, I tell you?
Well, you have a point. Actually, I don't think there's any crime in wanting privacy. So,
I was just going to sing, just for the record.
no, you cannot sing. Yes, she definitely cannot sing. Now, Dee Dee and Augie, I personally know them. I've worked for the organization for quite some time. I know they're perfectly harmless. But we have to ask, and I'll pass this to you. Augie, would you have reason to kill Bet?
Again, if anybody listened to what I said, this is a pain in my ass. I now have to replace her. My poor sister is going to have to do her job. If you think that we had her killed, you're an idiot.
Now he has a point there. He has a point. But I wonder still, Dee Dee, there was the question about discreet dalliances. Was there something there, Dee Dee?
Anything that I do in my personal time, of the people who know me well already know. I don't have any secrets, and as my brother said, little, maybe less eloquently, that I might.
I happen to know her letters. She was happy. And that's not her handwriting.
That doesn't give me any comfort.
No, we didn't do it.
Well, I didn't see anything new there that made me think that there would be more. So, if you can't sing, or maybe you sing in admitting that you're a criminal, yes, I think that could be it. Now, Bet had said no. Bet had said no to Tosca. Tosca's family relationships are, I've heard stories that they can be very violent from time to time. So perhaps the environment that she grew up in caused her to reach out with that same violence and kill, or have Bette Midler killed. Did you want to admit this now and sing?
I'd love to sing.
No!
But I think this is more important right now. I have two things that I would like to say. The first is that, yes, Bet did say no to me, but you'll see I still got to sing tonight. Aggie still let me sing, and I wanted to rub it in her smug little face. So I'm sad that she's dead. I wanted to let her, I wanted her to watch me sing. The second thing I would like to say, there have been some aspersions thrown at my father this evening, but I would like to say that he's a very efficient man. If he wanted to take care of someone, you wouldn't have found the body.
He's very efficient.
Well.
So, not me, nor my father. Thank you.
No. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, thank you. So, well, that brings us to Hermione. Hermione, go ahead. I'm thinking that this problem of your husband dying under circumstances that would be very suspicious.
What's suspicious about it? He was an old man. He leaned over too far. He was very tall. It's called gravity.
Gravity, yes. It's a
Yes.
very gravity situation.
And besides that, if I was to kill or have anybody kill on my behalf, I'd do it myself. Only because I'd leave no witnesses, and I'd be sure to take that little black book.
Absolutely.
Oh, does that make you feel any? I'm not quite sure we have an answer yet. Is there any other information out there that could help us solve this? Hey, Woody! You caught her!
I found a bottle, Woody!
Yeah, well. All right. Sharpay, I'm arresting you for suspicion of murder, allegedly. Yes. Now, there's an opportunity here that if you cooperated, that you could perhaps get a lesser sentence, that we could speak with the district attorney. Well, I'm sure that Dr. Ben Drinken's talked to the district attorney a lot in his practice. And so might have good relationships there where we could work some deal out for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Yep.
Yeah? Cool. Hermione Chanel!
Oh! Get her, doctor! Run! You guys are gonna have to come back another night so we can catch her again. So you've been fingered, Hermione.
Yeah. I haven't been to the ranch, no. But I did it. I killed my husband because he would not vote for women's right to vote. So I had that eliminated because she's been blackmailing me because she knew I killed him. Unfortunately, the little did not get the little black book. And I did the world good by eliminating the dingbat of a nosy video.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a solution to a murder. Hermione Chanel.
And actually, this has made me think that since Hermione has made my life so very painful, that I am going to come up with a new design for women. It's going to be a skirt that you can barely walk in, and it will be based on her pencil that she always uses to write her notes, and I shall call it the pencil skirt.
That sounds like a winner. That sounds, once more, the House of Moss comes through with a winner. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. If you're here tonight, that means you were invited by somebody who is part of the show, so thank you so much for your support. Thank you for supporting us, being here on our first night with an audience. We can't do it without you guys, so thank you so much, everybody who showed up tonight. I have a few quick things I have to say before we adjourn for the evening. So first things first, let's hear it for our fabulous cast. Our murderess tonight and our victim. She's alive. We've got Kirkland and Meg in the kitchen. Come on out, ladies. Great job. That Sharpay can really run. Yeah, she zips on out of here. It's because she's young, you know. Another huge thank you we need to give to our group leaders and our cabooses for leading everyone through the house tonight. Thank you so much for all that you did. Thank you to Nick for filming tonight so that we could actually watch the show. Thank you, Nick, so much. Hywet in general. Without Stand Hywet, we would not have this production going on. We start this at the beginning of the year. We're practicing all year. The house staff here puts up with us. The president of Stand Hywet is here tonight, so thank you so much for supporting us. Big thank you to the house staff. And, sorry, a slightly bigger thank you to the Public Programs Department. Ray and Suzanne, thank you so much for everything. Christmas is coming up, so if you get a chance, come back to Stand Hywet for Deck the Hall. There's approximately 7 gazillion lights that go up here, so come check that out. And if you liked Murder in the Mansion, the tickets will go on sale in like summer of next year, so come back next year. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much, and drive safely.
Thank you.